Hey everyone, awesome to see you on this Sunday. Thank you so much for your lovely messages in the chat while we were waiting to go. It was really good to see you all excited. I mean, some people came like on 30 minutes before, so that was just really good. So I went down and kind of drank my lunch really quickly. But I'm so excited to be here. It's really good to try and have this kind of geek out time with you all where you can ask me some questions, we can do a bit of open source, we can definitely get you your green squares for today. So I'm sure we'll come up with some ideas with the community and we'll get you to have your green squares. That could be raising an issue, could be making a commit, it could be raising a pull request. It's all good contributions to the open source community about adding value and improving your GitHub profile. Any questions, drop them in the chat. I've seen some things pop up now, so let me go have a look. You can prepend it with a Q if it's a question from me and I can pick it up. And if you see anyone ask any question or say something, suggest something, and you've got some positive feedback or anything, do reply to them, do tag them and give your opinion. It's really good to see all of your opinions as well as mine. So let's go have a look. It's great to see lots of names. I brought some things up on the screen a moment ago, so you might have seen your messages if you were early up on the screen. So I hope you like that. I got that working again because that wasn't working last time. Silly IP change between servers and stuff. So all is good. Let's give a shout out for people who are early. We've got SkullX, we've got Mikey, we've got Jason. I'm looking at the screen over here, that's why. Actually, shall I show you behind the scenes? This is what I'm looking at. So let me just show you this. So it's my temporary setup at the moment. But yes, I'm looking at the side. I got to Jason, didn't I? Aditya, hope I pronounced that right. I'm really sorry, but great to have you here. Thank you for chatting. Thank you for writing me some messages on, not on YouTube stories. What was it? The community story thing on YouTube. That's awesome to have you here. I know you've got some questions about customizing your GitHub repo. So let's chat more about that. Put the questions in the chat and I can bring up my screen and show you some examples. Who else have we got? Alex, how you doing? Awesome to have you here. Been lurking for some time. Vivi, hopefully I pronounced that right. Glad you're lurking for some time. That's good. What else? Who else have we got? Raheel, I hope I pronounced that right. Apologies if I didn't. I saw your post on LinkedIn about winning GitHub Star. Excited to hear your tips and tricks about open source from me. Thank you so much. Yes, so I got GitHub Star this year and I won GitHub Star of the Year 2020, which is just epic. I mean, even just to get to be one of the GitHub Stars, that was like 30 people out of 55 million people. I was just so shocked and honored to get that. And then to win Star of the Year, like, I'm still like dealing with it and trying to understand and comprehend. That is just amazing. I'm just so shocked. And it's because of all of you, to be honest. I think all of you inspire and encourage me. And so I'm really grateful that you're all here. And hopefully I add some value. And yeah, because I know you all teach me lots of things. And it's just awesome to be here and geek out with you. Eddie, my new Vue stuff. Glad you're doing Vue, Sassy. Hopefully I pronounced that right. I need to get into Vue. Over the holiday season, I'm going to redo my website in Vue. So I'm looking to do that. Actually, I'm going to use Nux.js. That's what I'm going to try and use. But yeah, mostly Vue and stuff. Hey to everyone. I should bring some of these up on the screen. I'm really bad. I'm really sorry. I'm just too excited today just to, get into open source. And like I said, still dealing with winning GitHub Star of the Year. I'm still like so shocked by that. I deserve it. Thank you so much. I really, really appreciate it. So what should we start with today? So how has everyone been doing? How have you been doing? But more importantly, how has your week been in terms of open source? So what have you been up to? We've actually got a GitHub discussion going on. Let me share my screen and you can have a look. So we've got our GitHub organization. And if you want to join that, you can raise an issue on support and we'll send you an invite. We've got 270 people there now. And one of the things we do have on the support repo is we have the discussions tab, which is a beta feature from GitHub. So it's awesome to have that. And we had November and now we've just today started December. So what have you been learning? What have you done? Just put, let me share the link to this, but put your thoughts below and comment on other people, see what other people are learning. Maybe you want to help each other out, pair on stuff. And in our Discord channel, we do really help each other out and really encourage people to create issues to get those green squares for today. How are my green squares doing for today? Let's have a look. Well, for the year, I suppose. Not so bad. I need to probably do a bit more as well. I had, as of yesterday, for this week alone, over 500 GitHub notifications. And my success for today, for this morning, is I cleared those all down. So yes, it was. I was really happy yesterday and today. I was going through the GitHub notifications. I really apologize. If I've missed anyone, do let me know. Tag me in those issues or pull requests. I don't think I have missed any of them. I think I have gone through them all. And sorry it took me so long. I think some of you were waiting like 7-8 days. I mean, one of them might be 9 days. But the other community, what's amazing is the other community members jumped in and reviewed pull requests and just moved things along. And I really, really love that. So actually, on that note, it's kind of given me some ideas. Maybe I should give some stickers away or do some competition maybe in January. Let's have a think over the next couple of weeks and see. I've got loads of GitHub stickers. So maybe we could give them away for people who help other people in the community and stuff like that. I don't know, something like have some thoughts. Someone can start a GitHub discussion. You'll get your green square for today by starting a discussion and just throw your ideas in there. And then it gets, although if you append a discussion, you won't get a green square. If you create one, you will. But if you append one, you won't. But it still appears as activity on your GitHub profile, which is really important. Yes, the green squares are people's first impressions, but when they dig deeper, they want to see how you collaborate and communicate with other people, which is really important. When I hire people, that's something that I look for. I really look for how they communicate and collaborate with other people. So get involved in the conversation. Right, I've missed some chat. I've got some nice messages. Let me bring those up. Actually, you know what? Let's bring these up on the screen. I've got a bit behind. Let me see. What did you have for lunch? Okay, you can ignore these ones. I had like my wife made a Buddha bowl. It's like kind of rice and not rice. I don't know. It was just epic. Loads of like healthy food. Healthy food. Leave it at that. Okay, let's bring this up. So you deserve it. Thank you so much. I really appreciate that. I do really appreciate the positive feedback. Yeah, it just goes a long way. People don't realize how when you get a comment on a YouTube video or even just like a pull request, if you can review someone else's or even just give some feedback, they really like the idea, great work, you don't realize how much energy and motivation it gives the other person. That's why I love our community because we all support each other and give each other constructive criticism so we can learn, but also we give each other that motivation to do more, and I really, really love that. Jason, thank you so much. Yeah, it's just been an epic week. Really, really has. GitHub Universe is coming this week. I think it's Tuesday, Wednesday, and Thursday. And that looks really, really awesome. So I do highly recommend you checking that out. I'm going to be definitely watching that and see. And if it's interest to you, I could do like a highlights video of what I liked from it or takeaways or something afterwards, if that's interest to you. There are lots of tracks going on, so I won't be able to cover everything. So I might miss something. So I do highly recommend joining in on that. My first week at open source was really nice. The community is awesome, and it's great to get all those peeps together. Love that. Thank you very much. Open source is epic. Can we join if we're complete newbies? James, that's a great question, and the answer is yes. I think I'm just having a bit of a what's the word? Speech. No, it's not a rant because it's like a positive thing, but I think newbies don't realize how much value they can add. Your new perspective on things is just so valuable. I love it when we get a new person onto a team, like even if it's for a client project, I love getting a new person onto the team, no matter what level they're at, senior all the way down to junior. And I hate the word junior and senior because it's so subjective, but more experience or less experience. The reason why I love getting new people on the team, especially actually if they're less experienced, because I think they've got a more fresh perspective. And I always like to give them the project and say, well, what do you think this project does? And they always say, well, why don't you tell me what it is and I can have a look? It's like, no, because if you can't tell me what the project does from reading the README and what code or documentation, then there's nothing wrong with you. There's something wrong with the project and we can make improvements to that. And then for every new person that joins the team, if we can make more improvements to the project, I'm not talking about writing a book on documentation, but making it more kind of concise and useful, then the next person will get it easier and we'll make it better with them. And the next person after that, again, it'll be easier for them, but then we'll make it better again. And easier is probably the wrong word because there are going to be different challenges. Once you kind of clearly show what the project does, then you can get more into the technical side and make that more easier for people to digest. So definitely get involved. If you go to the issues section and hit new issue, and then there's an option that says invite to the GitHub organization. If you hit get started, literally just create submit, because then we'll have your, you can fill this out if you want, but you don't need to. We'll have your GitHub username from that and we can send you an invite. And then we do have discussions. If you have any ideas, you want to chat about anything, Discord is great. The link is in the description below. But the other advantage of putting it on GitHub is it doesn't get lost, is one thing. And two, it helps your GitHub profile. When I look at people's GitHub profiles, I don't look, I'm kind of going into a second kind of speech here. I'll look at the chat in a second, so bear with me and I'll answer some questions then. But I don't just look at your code. And actually, that's not my first priority. My first priority is to see, does that person have the right attitude? How are they communicating and collaborating with people? And how do they take constructive feedback? That's the most important. And then second or third, I might look at someone's code, actually not to see how great it is, but to see has it improved over the last 1 to 3 months. That's why it's so important to share your code as you go along, because people want to see that you've improved rather than is it amazing. So if you're doing a tutorial now or practicing on a side project, put it on GitHub open source, and you will learn so much by being also a project maintainer. Someone might raise an issue or make a pull request, and then you will just understand the other side of the role. If you haven't got any side projects, I highly recommend creating a repo that is the same name as your username, and therefore you can customize your GitHub profile. But we'll get into that in a second. Let me catch up with the chat. But yeah, really good question. Definitely get involved. Whoa, I've missed lots of stuff in the chat. Let's have a look. Thank you all so much for the positive feedback. It's great to have you all here. I really appreciate you all taking the time out of your Sunday to come and chill with us. Let me know in the chat actually which time zones you're from. I'd be really interested to know. Are people kind of West, similar to me, kind of Europe, or East, Far East going? Is it going to the evening for you? Let me know whereabouts in the world you are. I love to see where people are in the world. It's so cool. That's the great thing about virtual events and conferences and all that. It is so much more inclusive. We can include people from everywhere, although time zones, if you're like probably in Australia now, it's probably like middle of the night and you're probably asleep. Let me catch up with the chat. What have we got? My first week contributing to open source. I love that. It's really good. James, yes, I did say, yes, get involved as a newbie. Absolutely. Let me see, what else have we got? Link to your website. My website, the current website I have, I did have some contributions recently, but I will do that. The current website is on my GitHub profile, and it is down here, eddiejal.github.com. So let me send a link. Don't judge me on this website. It's many years old and I haven't updated it in ages, and I really should. But and then this is my repository. You should do your one for yourself as well. See, you'll say your username / your username, and then anything you put in the README will appear on your profile, which is awesome. Let's see. What is GitHub Universe? Do highlights if you can. Yeah, so did I share a link? I did share a link. So GitHub Universe is, let me bring it up, let's have a look. It's just it's their main conference. I think it's free as well, GitHub Universe. Can't spell, bear with me. Here we go, GitHub Universe. And they've got these different tracks, which I think is just awesome. They have like day 1 is about secure development. Day 2, I'm gonna make it a bit bigger for you, is about DevOps, and 3 is about open source community. So day 3, I'm really excited about. It's just going to be great. And Brian's one of the hosts, and Kath. I've had Brian from GitHub on my YouTube channel before talking about GitHub Actions. I haven't had Kath on my channel yet. So Kath, if you're watching, I'm really keen to get you on my channel. So I know you opened, I think it was Kath who open sourced, or was part of the team that open sourced all of GitHub's documentation, which I just think is epic. So that's really good. They have so many amazing documentation on GitHub. I actually was thinking of going through their documentation and making videos on it. So let me know if that would be of something of interest to you. I know a lot of people don't like reading. I know I don't. So I could kind of go through that and kind of put a bit of my own spin on it and maybe make a video on that. So let me know what you think. They do have just lots going on. I mean, they have a schedule somewhere. Here we go. Subscribe for updates. They do have workshops as well, which I haven't signed up for. I've got lots of client work to do, unfortunately, so I can't sign up for that. I shouldn't say unfortunately. I should, it's a good thing. If I go to the schedule, I'll just show you an example of some of the things that they have. It's opening keynote. Really looking forward to that. I think they've grouped it into developer, enterprise, and play. So you've got opening keynote, which is 5 p.m. GMT. And then they go into code spaces, which we all love code spaces. I've got access to code spaces, and I'm setting up my dot files so I can have my local development on my laptop or on my iMac Pro be the same in code spaces in the cloud. I'm doing that at the moment. That is an open source repo on my account. It does actually at the moment break when I open code spaces, it tries to load all the dot files and customize my VS Code themes and all my shortcuts, my SSH keys, etc. It does break on code spaces. I'm not sure why. I have to go through and kind of comment things out and see. Just thinking it's probably like the brew steps, because brew is not going to work on code spaces. So no, I think that's actually an additional step. So it shouldn't actually do that on code spaces. I've got that as like a Mac kind of command. If I'm installing on Mac, then I'll do that. Catching vulnerabilities with GitHub. What else have we got? Learn to live code beats and with a Sonic Pi. Okay, that sounds interesting. Not sure what that's about. More code spaces. Nice. YouTube download maintainers and their input. Yeah, that was quite interesting. So the YouTube download project got removed, I think, because of not security, because you're not allowed to officially download off YouTube and so on. And then it got put back. So that's quite an interesting story. I don't know the full details. What else have we got? Oh, there's just so much going on. You have a look through. Let me share a link to this, and then you have a look through in your own time. Let's get you some green squares for today. I've shared that. Have a look. Let me know what parts interest you. I'm really interested to know. Right, let me catch up on the chat. I'm really behind, really behind. Apologies. I appreciate all your patience. Let's have a look. Give away digital badges for GitHub profile. I don't think I can give away digital badges. I don't have that much. As in, do you mean create? Let me bring that up on the screen so we can see which question I'm talking about. Let's have a look. I answered the GitHub Universe one. It's a great question. Topic trending: earning after joining open source project except from learning. Let me just bring that up and I'll work my way through to the other ones. I don't think I haven't missed any. Bear with me. If I have, I'm really sorry. Let me know. Just copy and paste it again and let's see. So, question we have at the moment is earnings. I guess you're asking, can you earn from open source? You can. There's still quite a few ways. Directly, you can make it from GitHub sponsors. So if I go to my account again, you'll see I have sponsors section. So these are the people who are sponsoring me, and these are the people I'm sponsoring. So my biggest sponsor, I think, is Steve. I've got loads of awesome sponsors. So thank you to all you sponsors. I think Mikey's in the chat as well. I appreciate all of you contributing to me. So yes, you can make money directly. So people sponsor me between $1 and $25 a month. And, you know, people think that $1 doesn't mean anything, but it really does. It gives you so much more energy and motivation, just like a positive comment does. $1 just gives you that more energy and motivation. So I really appreciate that. So, and if you do have, say, $5 to give to someone, don't give it to one person, spread it out. Give like $1 to 5 different people, or however many you can. But that's just, it means so much. The value is the less important part I'm trying to make. It's just actually making the donation. And that's directly. It's very similar to Patreon, but GitHub take no commission, which is amazing. So the open source contributor person on GitHub gets 100%, which is awesome. And then what else? You can do it indirectly. So I get a lot of my client work because of my open source work. They see my open source work, or their developers see my open source work, and they make. When companies are hiring, where do you think they go? They go to their developers first. Say, do you know anyone who we can hire in as a freelancer, or etc. etc. And if they're familiar with your open source contributions, then they're going to suggest you first. And so if there is a company you want to work for, I suggest making contributions to their projects, and therefore you get on their radar. It really helps a lot. That's indirectly. So you can do it. Let me see. The chat's going along, and I think I've missed something. Let's have a look. Okay. Oh, digital badges. Yes. So we didn't talk about that. I started talking about digital badges. So I could make some digital badges if people think that's really good. I could pay for a designer to make some digital badges if you think that's useful, and we can hand those out. I was actually thinking of GitHub stickers, like actual stickers that I could post to people. So I've got quite a few of those from being a GitHub star. I think I got sent a box which I haven't opened yet. Yes, another box. If you see my videos, I've done a few unboxings already. But I've got more. So I could open that and give away a lot of stickers. So let me know what you think. But I do like the digital badge idea. Could you raise an issue on the support repo? Let me find it. Let me share a link. Can you raise an issue and use that as an idea? I think the digital badge is quite a good idea. I really like that. We could maybe do something along the lines. Let's have a look. Okay. Let's see, what else have we got? Uh, Next question. I'm starting out in the open source world. This is from Pandu. Would love to have a few words of advice for you. Get started. That's my biggest advice. Just get involved. We've got lots of repos. Go have a look at some of the conversation. And we've got practice repos. So if you want to practice adding your name and just practice the workflow, then get involved in there. We've got bigger projects like EddieBot, which we use in our Discord, and it has you can run certain commands, adding roles to yourself. What else have we got? Tips and suggestions. There's lots of things that we can do, and that's Node. We have lots of projects, but get involved in the discussion, and then you'll realize what you want to contribute to. And if you can also do a search. If I click on issues right at the top, let me remove the question for a second so you can see the whole screen, and then it lists my issues. But then if you go up here to the top, you can actually filter by certain things. So here you go. Here's a search I've done before. I could filter by label, good first issue, and I can also, if I want, filter by language like Python. Hit enter, and it filters by all the projects on the web. And when you find a repo or a project that you like, I highly recommend, let's pick one for example. Let's pick the first one. I don't know whose project this is. You can go to Insights, then go to Community tab down the left, and make sure they have a code of conduct. And if they don't have one, propose one. That's really important. It shows that the project's quite inclusive. Another really good thing to do is check pull requests, and go to the closed pull requests, and these two have been merged. But the ones that haven't been merged, they usually are a red icon. Have a look at those. If they've been closed, not merged, that's fine. But check that they were closed in a friendly way, as in they said, thank you very much for this contribution. It's not something we want right now. Can you have a look at these other issues and see if any of those are interesting to you? Whereas if they've just closed it without a comment or anything, then that's not a very inclusive project. So I highly recommend making sure you contribute to an inclusive one. Obviously, I'm a bit biased, and I'm going to say that our projects are all very inclusive. Our team's amazing. Imagine I had 500 notifications, GitHub notifications to go through today, or yesterday and today, but most of them had been addressed by the community already. And people had reviewed it, people had added support to other people and encouragement and helped them out. So it's amazing. Our community is excellent. You're all excellent. I'm really behind on chat now, aren't I? I talk too much, I think. That's my problem. That's when you meant to say, no, Eddie, you don't talk too much. It's all good. Okay, the chat, I'm really behind. Let's have a look. What have I missed? Have I missed stuff? Okay. I think I'm good. I joined for complete newbies. Answered that. That's all good. Okay. Aha, time zones plus 5.5. Okay, so it's like dinner time for you now. Okay. A small community has its own advantages. It does. Like it's more quality than quantity. So it's awesome. It's really good. It's quite hard for me to find issues that I can work on. Any tips about that? Great question. I'm just going to bring that up. Hopefully I haven't missed any. I'm just going to check. I have missed some. I'll come back to that in a second. I think I missed Rishab's. I'll come back to that in a second. So this question from Carl, have I pronounced that right? It's quite hard for me to find an issue with my skill level. Any tips on that? Get involved in the conversation, because then people are more likely to help you. If you think you're just dropping by just to get a green square and you're going to leave, then they're not going to kind of want to help so much. Whereas if you kind of try and help other people, and by being new to a project or new to tech, you can give such a good perspective on that, and that's really, really useful. So add value. Say, well, this doesn't make sense to me. As someone new to the project or new to tech, this doesn't make sense to me. Could you explain it more? And then they can improve their project, their pull request, whatever it is. And people value that. I really value that sort of stuff. So look at any of our projects that are behind me. Have a look, especially the support one. We are doing more work on the support one where we've got tips and so on. So for example, if we go to the support one, we've got a tips section, or even just in the README, have a read of that. Should some of that be pulled out to a different section? Is it too much to digest at once? Some things not quite make sense. And then you can raise an issue to say that this bit doesn't make sense to me. Then you get a green square on your GitHub profile. And then someone can say, oh yeah, you're right, that doesn't quite make sense. We could add this and this will all be in the issue. And then you or them can raise a pull request on it. And as you see, you could just kind of get started, just get into the flow of things. And so That's really, really important. And from that, you'll know how the flow works, you'll meet other people, you'll discover other projects, you'll get more into the coding and tech side. I think people try and jump in and they want to contribute to the biggest project on GitHub. And it's very hard. Those projects move so quickly. And you'll get there. I'm not saying you won't. I'm just saying just think about adding value as soon as possible. And then you will get benefit and value from that as well. Okay, I did miss one. Let's have a look. Here we go. How can I ask if I want to contribute to a project? The project belongs to an organization, but the project is still not set up properly. If it's an open source project, you don't need to belong to that organization. You can just fork it and contribute to it. But raise an issue on their repo first. Excuse me. Raise an issue on their repo first and check that they'll accept the contribution. And you'll get a green square for raising the issue, and then you'll get a green square for the commit, and you get a green square for the pull request. So you get lots of green squares for it. Well, the green square will get darker. As someone corrected me on the last live stream, you won't get more green squares. Or you will, but they'll be laid on top of each other, so they appear darker. So we're kind of both right. Anyway, sorry, back to the question at hand. Yeah, I would raise an issue, start the conversation. An issue is about starting the conversation and making sure that the project maintainers want that contribution. And if it's something small and you just raise a pull request, that's fine, and just you might not get accepted. And if you're happy with that, that's also fine. But if it's a big piece of work and you're unsure, I would definitely raise the issue first and start the conversation with them and see. Let me see. Okay, answer that one. Time zones, Germany, awesome. People all around the world. You'll be judged. I hope I'll be judged. We don't no judging here. You can judge me if you want. I'm the one that's on the screen, but no judging otherwise normally. I have the same problem. Usually I use Explorer tab on GitHub to find something. Good advice. That's very good. David, thank you very much. You're right. The Explore tab. I don't use it that much actually. That's a really good point. Really like that. I should look at this more. I'm going to just hide the question because you're missing stuff down the side. So yeah, there's trending developers. Do we recognize any of our developers here? I have trended on there before, and some of our repos as well. But yeah, have a look through this. That's a really good suggestion. Thank you very much for that. Leal, thank you so much for the congrats. Yeah, that's awesome. I'm still kind of buzzing and excited. And yeah, still trying to digest it. So thank you very much. Awesome. Hi, are you taking questions? Yes, I am taking questions. I'm just really behind and a bit slow on questions. I am playing catch up. But ask your questions. Yes, definitely do. Nikhil, hopefully I pronounced the name right. Ask your question away. Put a Q in front of it so I don't miss it. I'm slowly catching up. Rossano, thank you so much. Yeah, it was a really awesome achievement. Yeah, it really was. Thank you very much. What else have we got? How about a discussion on the support repo for this? Yeah, let's do it. I think if someone wants to, where is it? Let's go back to our support repo where we have the beta discussion feature. Raise discussions, and you can raise it general ideas, polls, show and tells. And if you want your open source projects reviewed as well, don't forget you can create an issue on the support repo, and when you create new, you create it with review my open source link and include the link in there. And as you can see, if I just filter by labels, I've got all these repos, and I'm going to be reviewing some today for my next video coming out this week. And I want to go through and review these open source projects. So if you want more visibility on your open source projects, even if it's you're customizing your GitHub profile, then yeah, just put it in there and say it's your GitHub profile. I'll gladly review it, give you some of my thoughts and maybe some of the other community. Because I know on a lot of these, for example, other people in the community have also replied back and given some suggestions, which I just think is awesome. Because I'm not reviewing it from a testing point of view. I want to review it from an open source point of view to get eyes on your project, but also to get you more contributors. So I really like how the community also gets involved and gives their tips too. Let me try and catch up with the chat. Look, Andre, hi, good to have you here. I think I reviewed one of your open source projects in my previous video, if I remember correctly. Suggest some projects that improves bigger skills. Hopefully I haven't missed any questions. If I have, just copy and paste it back in. Uh, every project, whatever the project is, whatever the size, technology, you will improve because you get to work with different people. And that's so important because you'll understand how to work with different people, which is a very important skill to have. But also, they will show different things. Like the example I just showed you on the screen behind me, I brought up someone asking for for me to review their project. But when other people reviewed their open source project, they listed different things. And that's why it's so important to get involved in multiple open source projects and work with different people. Imagine pairing with someone on the computer with one person. You do it for months. You get used to that person. Whereas if you pair with somebody else, they might do something differently. They're going to notice different things. If we all were now to draw, I don't know, if we all said just draw a cat, we're all going to draw different cats. I prefer dogs. Let's say dogs. If we're all going to draw a dog, we would all draw a different dog, even though we're talking about a dog. And that different point of view is so important. So yeah, I highly recommend getting involved in any open source project. Hey Eddie, how you doing? I'm good, thank you. I hope you're well. Devraj, I think I've seen some contribution. When I was going through my GitHub notifications, I definitely recognize your username, which is why it's important for people to have the same username on GitHub, YouTube, Twitter. Therefore, I can tie it all together. And also, people who are hiring can tie it all together. So they can say, oh, I had that conversation on Twitter with that person. And there's so much value to the conversation. Yeah, let me check them out. Shubham, can I get a shout out, please? Shubham, answer someone's question in the chat, add some value, and I'll definitely give you a shout out. Can you code something on a stream? People would love to see a master in practice. People who have seen me code on a live stream before know I make a lot of mistakes. But I do enjoy coding on a live stream because it shows the authentic side. Whereas on a video, I might spend 1 hour doing the coding, and then you see it in 5 minutes, and you're like, wow, Eddie's coding so fast. And it is not true. That's not how I coded. I cut out like 10-minute chunks where I'm Googling stuff. So yeah, we should do some, in January, I'll do some more then. I want to do a lot more. I want to, the community are contributing to our organization and projects so much, but I really want to kind of put some like actions in place where we've got some templates, like in the support repo, we have some issue templates. I want to sync those up to other repos. So I'm planning to do all that on some live streams where you can all help me pair program with me and notice all the mistakes that I make. And then we've also got like tips coming in here. We've got Git tips, we've got other tips, and I want to convert that into a website that people can use as well. So we've got lots of exciting things coming up, and I'm so grateful for the community for moving this along while I've been busy with client work. But I will be doing some coding on live streams from static websites to deployments. I want to redo my website as well, so I could do that on a live stream too as well. I'm probably going to use Nuxt.js and Tailwind. Debbie from DevRel from Nuxt.js is going to join me on a live stream after like lots of popular demand. So thank you very much, Alan, for raising the issue. Debbie's going to be joining us probably in January to do a live stream as well. Okay, have I missed anything in the chat again? Let's have a look. I'm slowly catching up. Thank you, Eddie. Always happy to be part of something bigger too. Is in its earliest phase. Yeah, I think we're having lots of changes in the community, adding so much value. So it's just awesome. It's really, really good. Let's have a look. What did I miss in the chat? Yeah, Mikey's right. Let me bring Mikey up. Put a Q if you have a question from me. Therefore, it's easier for me to spot it in the chat. And do get involved in other questions that other people write. Rossano, great question. Like this. Any suggestions if you want to get involved and contribute but struggle to find the time? For example, who has a full-time job already? This is a really, really good question. I really, really like this. Because it is hard and we're all busy with family, with job, with relaxing, right? It's really important to make sure you find time to relax as well. So I think of it, you've probably all heard me say this before, I think of it like brushing your teeth. It's about little and often. That's where the value comes in. It's a marathon, not a sprint. Like you don't not brush your teeth for a whole month and then brush your teeth for an entire weekend. The benefit just isn't there. And it's the same with open source. I find it's really important every day do something little. Like for example, today it's Sunday, you might be, relaxing with family, etc. maybe just raise an issue of something you want to do tomorrow or Tuesday. And the issue needs to be small, like keep it really, really small. Like, think of an example. Let me think of an example. Let's go to my my portfolio page. So I want to change this a little bit. Like, say if I wanted to, I don't know, put another list down the right-hand side. Let me hide the question for a second. And I want to put a list down the right-hand side. Then I would just raise an issue to say, I want to put a list of X, whatever the list is, down the right-hand side. And that's my green square for today. That's me contributing to my open source project for today. And then tomorrow, I could actually do that. And I might even hard code the list tomorrow. It might be like a small step in that direction and get the layout right and so on. And then the day after, I can maybe make it more dynamic and a GitHub action to update it or however we want to do it. But important is just every day or every other day, just try and do something little. I think a lot of people think too big and right, I've got to build this app, I need to do this, and it just kind of puts them off. And I'm guilty of that as well. And that's why I love the community, because the community nudge me to keep moving along, and so we break things down a lot smaller. So I think that's yeah, that's really, really important. Oh, I see I've got a new sponsoring tab at the top. That's quite new. These are the people I'm sponsoring. Okay, cool. Yeah, these are people I'm sponsoring. Awesome. What else have we got? Hopefully that answers that question. But yeah, going back to brushing your teeth, little every day, right? We don't wake up or go to bed going, oh, I've got to brush my teeth today. It's like, it's not. We just do it part and parcel, and open source should be the same. Because when you look back over the year, your learnings, your networking, your projects that you've been contributing to would have moved so far ahead. So I think people just try and think of it too big. And it's not impressive. If I see someone's GitHub account and they've got like dark green squares for one weekend, like twice a year, that's not that impressive. It means they're inconsistent and they're kind of, they're inconsistent. Whereas if you've got, light green squares over the whole year, not necessarily every day, then it is more impressive. Okay, I've missed some questions. I'm just going to scroll back and see. There is a blue screen that flashes on the video time to time. Maybe you should look after it. It doesn't bother anyway. Jason, thank you very much for letting me know. Maybe raise an issue in the support repo. Get a green square for today. That is a bit weird. It could be. Is it when I'm switching tabs? I'm not sure, but yeah, raise an issue in the support repo, and I wonder what issue type it will be. Oh, I see. We've got digital badges. Awesome. Thank you very much for raising that. That's a really good idea. I wonder if there are any examples online that we could use, not to use the kind of the exact badge, but just to get an idea of what it could mean. We have spoken about badges before on people contributing to the community, but yeah, I'm glad you brought it up again, because it just helps us think more about it. So that's great. Devraj, how to join the tech community? Can you be a bit more specific? Do you mean open source, or do you mean our GitHub organization? If you go to the support repo and raise an issue, someone's probably answered this in the chat already, I just haven't got to it. And go to new. Oh, I clicked on new, but you can't see it because it's up there. And then just say, invite me to the GitHub organization, and we'll send you an invite. Okay. Hopefully that answers that question. Right. Adia. I can't pronounce your name, I'm really sorry. You're going to have to send me an audio message on how to pronounce it. Has already said, yeah, join the Discord as well. That's really good. I found a way to make more green squares, the Chrome extension for 3D squares. Yeah, that looks really, really interesting. The 3D green squares does look pretty cool. I don't use, I use Chrome for development, but rather than, yeah, I use Chrome for development, not for like surfing the net, so I use Safari for that. So yeah, that extension is pretty cool. Okay, let me catch up on the chat. Lots of great questions today. Thank you very much. Thank you very much, everyone. I really appreciate it. Thanks for the retweet. No problem at all. I don't remember what I retweeted. What was the tweet about? Remind me, NASA. Remind me what the tweet was about. But you're welcome. Thank you very much for the tweet in the first place. Hey, Eddie, can I get some contributions from open source projects? Any tips for that? Yes, there's a couple of tips. One is make sure your project is inclusive. Make sure that if you go to your Insights tab and then go to community, make sure these are all got green ticks. This is actually hasn't, so If someone wants to create an issue and a pull request for our support repo, we need a contributing file. And don't think, oh, I need to think of a whole page of information for the contributing file. Don't think that. I just want one sentence in the contributing.md file. Because once you've created a PR with that title and one sentence, that's already adding value to our community. So that's great. That's number one. And number two, then there's a file there for other people to add more sentences to it. So if they want some more green squares, please raise an issue on our support repo that we need a contributing file. And then two, if someone can raise a pull request with the contributing file with one sentence. And yeah, we will probably have that contributing file in our template repo and have a GitHub action that syncs it all across. But we'll do that later. Now you can just create it on the support repo. We can always move it later. That's fine. And the third thing you can do to get more contributions to your open source repo, more stars, more forks, is go to issues on this support repo, go to new, and hit review my open source link and put a link in there, and I'll review it on a video or live stream. And you can't see it, I was covering it up, but this one. And then hopefully you'll get more views on your project as well. Questions are coming in faster. This is great. I haven't missed any. Great question from Rosando. Hopefully I answered that question, didn't miss it. Question from, thank you, Mikey. That's awesome. I did miss one. Any suggestions for people who want to get involved and contribute but struggling with time? Oh, I answered that already. I'm just so behind. I need to get better at this. I do. Thank you all for your patience and your great questions. Another hi. Appreciate it. Animesh, thanks for the hi. Thanks for being here. It's so awesome to have you all here. This is great. I am slowly catching up with the chat. Daily Tech, another hi. Let me bring some of these up. It's great to see some new names and so on. Cats have feelings too. Without, long time no see. How you doing? Happy you're live again. Yeah, I'm slowly getting into it. January, I'm going to do lots more lives. I'm really keen to geek out with you all. Say, I hope I pronounced your name right. Awesome to have you here. Suggestions: create a random website using obscure tech stack and show the repo on the site. Viewers will contribute and design a beautiful website by the end. Hopefully it will be fun. So actually, we have a community website. So if I go to our community website, which is scrolling down here, we are thinking of renaming Eddie Jowd Community to Eddie Hub to make it a bit easier for everybody. So we might, over the holiday season, you might see lots of things get renamed. Discord and GitHub organization and repos and stuff. Quite a bit of work to do on that. But we have got a website, and this has been built by the community, which I think is awesome. So this has all been built by the community. We've got our projects up here. We should actually have maybe a community project section. Maybe we can get people to list their projects. So yeah, this has been built by the community, which is awesome. Praveen, how are you doing? Praveen's another YouTuber. Awesome to have you here, Praveen. I do some collaborations on Praveen's YouTube channel as well. Go check out Praveen's YouTube channel. Eddie, how to approach maintainers to ask for maintaining the repo which I should contribute? Okay, so raise an issue. I think if you can find some improvements to a project, raise an issue. And if you want to ask the question, just ask it an issue. What's the worst that's going to happen? They're going to close the issue. You're going to be fine. You're not going to stop breathing. You're not going to run out of air. You're not going to, run out of food. Your GitHub account's not going to get closed. So I highly recommend just raising an issue. And if you want to practice, just come to one of our repos and raise an issue. We're a really inclusive community here. I want other project maintainers to be the same. So hopefully we're setting an example. But, raise an issue. Just say, look, I want to get involved. How can I? Or maybe do it in the discussions, because people can give you threaded replies. So discussions are like, so you can put a question. I think we've got Q&A. Yeah, question. And when you raise it, what you can do is you ask your question, and then people can give you different answers. And you could include a link to the project that you're talking about as well. And maybe other people can give you some suggestions on improvements you can make to the project. And that's another way. I highly recommend just raising it. Don't be worried. The worst case is someone closes your issue. It's fine. Honestly, it's fine. Hopefully that answers your question. If not, ask another question a bit more specific, and I'll try and answer. NASA, it was your first contribution to open source. Yes, I remember that. Awesome. Thank you so much for the tweet. Everyone watching, if you're getting any value or benefit or anything out of this, and you want to grow your Twitter following, for example, take a screenshot of our live stream, tag me, share the one thing you've learned, right? Remember, it's about adding value. So if you've learned something, whatever it is, then just share it, tag me in it, and I'll retweet it. And I'll really appreciate the positive feedback, and hopefully puts you in front of my audience as well in Twitter, and gets you a bit more notice as well, right? I see this as a two-way street. I'm here to try and help you, and you're here to help me as well. I'm learning a lot all the time, so I really, really appreciate it. Let's have a look. If I raise an issue and the owner didn't respond, should I do a pull request or not? Oh, great question. Like that one. Okay. Harshal, if they don't respond, you could do the pull request, but you're at risk that the pull request just ends up being kind of neglected. So if you're happy to do that work, like if it's a small piece of work and you want to do it, then do it. But remember that it might not get merged. It might not even get a comment or anything. Another way to look at it is go to the closed pull requests, and let me show you on this one. I don't know if we've got one. Go to the closed pull requests and have a look, or have a look how many pull requests are open, how many pull requests are closed. If there are loads that are open and then not getting dealt with and are months old, then you probably don't want to. The project's probably not very active. And then have a look at the closed ones and see when they were opened and how long the conversation took. For example, as you can see, this was opened 2 days ago, and then it was merged, does it say? 4 hours ago. So you kind of like 36-hour turnaround time, which I like to do things within 24 hours, but it's not always possible. So I would suggest just have a look, do a bit of research just to make sure it's something you want to contribute to. Let's have a look. Yeah, so Praveen's replied. I love that. When other people, if you have a suggestion or have a reply to someone's question, just shout it out. I'm not going to read it out, but do have a look. Oh, it's supposed to be up on the screen. Praveen, thank you so much for replying. I think it's great to see other people's opinions. I love to give my opinion, but also I think it's good for you to be aware of other people's opinion. Martin, how you doing? Everyone as well? Good to have you here. How to start coding? Okay. How to start coding? It's quite a broad question. You're here, which is a great start, and you're around some amazing people. Everyone here is great. There's a link to our Discord below if you want to come join the conversation between live streams and videos. Start coding. If you're going to do web, start with HTML, then CSS, and then JavaScript. With HTML, it's about putting your content on the page, and then with CSS, it's about styling up that content, and then with JavaScript, making it more interactive. Try that. Free Code Camp is good. W3 Schools is good to learn little bits and snippets. I'm sure other people can suggest in the chat some suggestions. I don't think you can post links. Nightbot will get upset, but you can post the name of things rather than like freecodecamp.com. You could put Free Code Camp. People can have a Google and search. Get started. And when you have more specific questions, do let us know, and we're more than happy to help. I highly recommend whatever you do. Say for example, you do start in HTML, do it open source on GitHub. So therefore, when you do have an issue, you can send someone a link. Like the worst thing, like a really good skill to learn, which open source people are really good at, which is why another reason why I want people to get involved in open source is how to ask questions. People sometimes say, my questions never get answered, or it takes some days to get answered. It's because the question hasn't been asked in an easier way for the other person to understand it. Don't make them work hard to understand your question, make it as easy as possible. So if you've got your project that you're trying to learn and do on GitHub, you can say, look, I've got this error, I've got this issue, I'm trying to do this, I've tried this, it doesn't work, and here's a link to the code. Boom! I should have sound effects rather than clapping my hands. Boom! Then they can see, right, they can have a quick look at it, click on the link, and they can go, right, I've seen it, you're missing X, Y, and Z. Then they're happy, you're happy, all is good. And they can even just send you a pull request to do the fix if they want it as well. There's so many benefits of having it open source. Praveen, I see Praveen is backing up the Eddie Hub. Yeah, I think that's definitely a win. We've got a few more as well. VV as well. Hey, Afzal. Hopefully I pronounced it right. Good to have you here. It's look at this. It's already Eddie Hub for me. Love that. That's brilliant. See, I love the support other people bring. It's great. Really, really good. It helps me and it helps the community and it helps you as well. Advent of Code. I haven't tried that yet. Praveen, do a stream on Advent of Code, and we can watch you do. I think you did one yesterday. I missed it. I need to catch up on that tonight. I love it when people say thank you to whoever it is, like to me or whoever is answering the question. I think it's just awesome. It's really good. People don't realize appreciation just goes such a long way. Let's give a shout out to Eddie and Praveen sites. I've given you lots of shout outs, Praveen. I totally agree with Eddie. It's about, here we go, let's bring Jason's up. Totally agree with Eddie. It's about small incremental steps. You can have it all. You can't have it all at one time. Exactly. I'll let you all read the rest of that, but that's just great. Yeah, it's really important to do little and often. Don't use 003 scrolls, please. Okay, I don't know. I was just thinking of things off my top of my head. Raveen, can you share ones that you think are useful? I'm so behind in the chat. I've probably missed something. I see David saying, hopefully this helps. I probably missed something. Let's see. What have I missed? If I missed something, copy and paste it back into chat. I won't be offended. Awesome. Okay. Right, how are we doing on time? Wow, we've almost been going for an hour now already. This is time flies when you're having fun. So what's everyone up to on this Sunday, and who hasn't got a green square for today? We do in our Discord. If I bring our Discord over, oh, I can't bring it over. Let me bring it over. If I bring our Discord over, make it a bit bigger, you can see that behind my big shiny head, we do have Eddie's brushing teeth. I'm just seeing the chat just there. I'm kind of catch up on that later on. But we do have first timers, and we do put in this channel ideas of issues people can raise to get their green squares. And I love it how the community, not just me, but everyone has got an idea. We might chat about it in Discord. We don't want to lose it, so we want to raise it as an issue on GitHub. And they'll drop it in first timers channel. So do keep an eye on this. And they'll say, hey, can someone raise this issue? Here's a kind of suggested title and description. And you get a green square. And if you aren't new, don't like grab all these and use all of them. Let's share the love. Let other people be able to get some green squares as well. But I really do like that. So yeah, do check that out, and do come and chat between live streams. I need to catch up on the chat. I'm sure there's lots of awesome stuff I've missed. But yeah, we've got so many exciting things for our projects. So just we talk about some of the projects we've got if you want to get involved. We do also have an API repo that is very, very new. I thought I merged in that pull request. No, we're still waiting for a few things on the pull request. So we actually started using Feather.js with Mongo. There's one last step I think I need to do, which is this one. Oh, and we also suggested doing, I think it was David suggesting doing Swagger docs. So we need to add that. So once that's done, this pull request can be done. Anyone wants to help me on this pull request, I'm more than happy for you to help me. We'll get this merged in, and we want to move the Eddie bot, the Discord bot, doesn't connect directly to Firestore. It goes via an API which connects to Mongo. So we're going to get rid of Firestore because the barrier to entry is quite high. For you to test it out and use it, you need to kind of set up an account on Firebase. You need to set up an account on there and all the rest. So that's what we're planning on doing that here. So yeah, we've got an API coming soon. It's going to be using Feather.js, which is effectively Mongo. It's just not Mongo, so Express. Wow, I'm talking too much. Eddie, slow down. Get it together. Yeah, Express, Node. We are using it with Mongo though. And we're using Faker to create some random data for tests as well. So we have got automated testing on there. But it's just one route that I've created at the moment. So there's lots of other things we still need to do. And then we'll want a front end for this as well. We still want the bot to talk to this, but we also then want a front end. I'd love to list everyone in the community and how much contributions they've done and interactions. I'm even with one of our GitHub actions, we're logging people's interactions. So if you give a reaction to someone's issue or pull request, you get another tick. Maybe that's where the digital badges can come in. I think we've discussed this before, but with my terrible memory, I forget. We're going to have some digital badges where we can say this person's got, I don't know, 100 reactions or given 100 reactions and received 100 reactions and opened 200 issues and so forth. So stuff like that. So we've got some exciting things coming, and we all need your help to get involved. And if you're new to tech, new to our community, we need your help more, because you can really help us make it understandable for new people, and that's what we want, so we can keep the quality of our projects really, really high. So yeah, that's really important. I know we've got lots of work to do. We are doing improvements all the time. So a big thank you to all the awesome community. Right, I'm sure seeing some chat come in. So let me catch up. Let's have a look. Tweet done. Let's do it. Awesome, Eddie. Thank you, Praveen. After the stream, I will have a look at my notifications on Twitter and I will give you a retweet. So thank you very much. That's awesome. Love that, right? All helping each other out. Two-way street. That's great. I don't recognize this API technology. How can I help if I want to, code especially? So, really great question. Loving these questions from you today. Really, really good. So, let me go back to the API repo. So the API repo is in a pull request at the moment. It's in a branch. So when you clone this repo, make sure you then switch to the Feather.js branch. So one way you could really help, so someone who's new to this technology, is you could clone the repo. You could try and start the app and try and run through some of the examples that I've got here. And if something doesn't make sense, then raise it and say, raise an issue or comment on this pull request because it's still in a pull request. Say, try to follow the, I don't know if I must have updated the README. Let me check. This is where it's a bit embarrassing. I probably haven't. README. I've put some notes in here. So if you go to the README and you try and run these steps, this is what it will look like rather than looking at the diff. Where is it opened up to? Jump over a few tabs. This is what the README will look like. Go try this and let me know. And if this doesn't work, actually, this I don't even think is my README. I think I use their default README. I'm not sure. I have to see. But if you can go try this, and if you say it doesn't work, or I've got steps 1, 2, and 3, maybe we're missing steps 2B or something, that's adding so much value to the project, and I will really appreciate it, and I know the community will really appreciate it. So yeah, you can get involved. Not being familiar with that technology is actually really, really important. It adds so much value. So I would appreciate that. So therefore we can make the PR more bulletproof before we merge it in. Tweet done. Hopefully I answered that. How to start off with Advent of Code. Could you provide a kind of walkthrough event? Yes, I think Praveen should do this one. Praveen, when is your live stream to do this? Oh, wrong way. That way. There. That question's over there. Yeah, I think that would be quite interesting. So Praveen will probably do one on that. If not, I'm a bit late to do one now. I think it's a few days into that already, but definitely get started on it, and we can chat about more in Discord. Ah, no, the statistics error has workflow has an error. Really? Oh no. Let's have a look. I think I got it on all the repos. Then we got to GitHub Actions. So on workflows. So it will be in community, I think, right? Yes, so statistics workflow is in community. We go to actions, community. No, it's okay. Don't scare me like that. It seems okay. Maybe there have been a few errors. I'm sure sometimes it fails, but it looks all green. If there's an odd failure, it's fine. If there are continuous failures, please take a screenshot, get a link, raise an issue, and nudge me a lot of times. Scared me a little bit there. Look at this question. I like this question. How much time do you spend on GitHub a day? A lot. I really do. Well, because I'm going to do a video on this, but I actually manage everything through GitHub. You may be thinking, that doesn't make sense. Even my YouTube videos, I'm a bit behind in my admin, but if I go back to my account, and I go to projects, I actually manage my socials through the project board. This is a bit like Trello, but better, obviously. It's GitHub. It's going to be better. It's the best. And yeah, these are the things that I need to be doing, and I put it in progress and editing, blocked, and done. And you can add the columns that you want. There's a big add button here. You can add more columns. Excuse me. You can move these cards around, and then when you turn a card into an issue, so other people can comment on it, you get a green square, and then you can just drag them around, and you can move these columns around if you want as well. So I highly recommend doing that. Not only is it a really great way to organize it, and therefore you keep it more public, people can see how you manage your projects, your time. But also, each time you make an issue out of it, so if I wanted to make this into an issue, I go convert to issue. You get a green square. I'm not saying flood your account with just random issues just to help your green squares, but it's great to see both sides, right? People don't just want to see code, even if they're hiring you for code. They want to know that you can work within the team, that you can manage a project, and so it's important for people to visually see this. I know a lot of people in the community have flagged that some of my things are out of date or don't make sense, and I think that's really important. That shows that I've got to write things better. So if I open one, oh, that actually that's actually done. That's out of date. That's on my YouTube channel. Let's move that across and let's close that. So that one's done. But yeah, it's important to give it a description. I didn't put a description in there. That's probably not very good. I need to get better at giving descriptions. That's what I do look for when hiring people for my clients and they say, can you look at this person? I don't just look at their code, but I want to see, have they put a task list in the issue that they've created and stuff like that. So I think that's yeah, really, really important. But I spend a lot of time on GitHub, definitely. Right, have I missed anything? Hey, Lakshmi, hopefully I pronounced it right. Awesome to have you here. You are a little bit late. Yeah, you're a little bit late. We'll probably stream for another 10 minutes or so. And then, yeah. But we'll do some more, don't worry. And don't forget, there's a link to Discord below. We'll chat between Discord, and the community is just so inclusive. They'll always chat and help you out and encourage you. They're just awesome. Context doesn't work on pull request. See, context is really important. Now I agree with you. It doesn't work on pull requests. There is a fix for that. Brian, when he was on our stream last, Brian from GitHub, when he was on our stream, there is a config we need to change to our GitHub Actions. That's something we need to do. I think it's just like a one-line config. If we add it to our actions, then it will work for pull requests. So that's actually one thing we do need to sort out. Thank you for reminding me. Keep reminding me. Do we have an issue for it? We should have an issue for it. If not, we have an issue. Everyone wants the green square, raise an issue. But even better if someone can fix it. Just search for GitHub Actions secret forks or something like that. GitHub Actions secret fork. There is a config for that somewhere. Make secrets available to, there we go, see? Oh, this is a discussion, which is a bit old, but there is an update in their documentation. Definitely, it's quite new. It came out, I think, like a month or so ago. But yes, my point is, there is possible, so do have a look, and we will try and fix it. We will use the chat. I'm not going to see the video. Praveen, not sure if that's for me or someone else. What OS am I using? And Grover, I'm using Mac OS for my what I work on. But then behind the scenes, if I show you that my live streaming machine over here is running Windows. The only thing it has installed is vMix, which is like OBS, which allows me to live stream and switch between cameras and so forth. I'm in a temporary office at the moment. As you can see, it's not my usual setup. My office downstairs below this room, actually just getting a new floor and redone and so forth. So we'll be back in the original office probably in January, hopefully. Tongue in cheek, your wife must be hating GitHub at this point. I'm getting her onto GitHub. So she wants to get involved and helping me manage more of my content. I want to write more blog posts. I'm terrible at writing, so she's my ghostwriter, but I want her to get involved. So she's actually gonna have to get used to GitHub more. Yes, she loves all the GitHub swag. She still saw my GitHub stickers and my plushies and I don't know, loads of t-shirts. She's got some GitHub t-shirts as well. But yeah, she's gonna get more used to it. She uses GitHub a little bit already. When she wants to fix my blog posts or website like text, I just said to make a pull request. So I just showed to make an edit and a change, and I can review it. And then I can merge it in and accept it. So yes, but that's increasing. We're going to ramp that up in the new year. Oh, thank you, Nightbot. Support the channel by giving it a thumbs up and subscribe below if you haven't already. It's interesting how like 50% of the people that watch my channel aren't subscribed. I think there are 3 to 4 issues open. Okay, that's good. Right. We'll fix it very soon. I should just fix it straight after this live stream. I'll have a Google and see. I have to have a Google too. I don't know all the answers, but there is a config that we need to do that. I'll always ping Brian. He can just let me know what the config is. Actually, he did it on his repo. Let's go to his account. Brian. Oh, it's not Brian. It's Brian's GitHub is B Doogie, I think. B Doogie. Users. Aha, here we go. And then one of Brian's GitHub actions, there is a fix. Let's have a look. Anyone see a GitHub action? We might have fixed this right now. Can I action? Testing an action right now. Airtable action record. 6 days ago. That might be one of the newer ones. Okay, we'll have to. We'll dig around and have a look. Hey Eddie, please review my documentation. Can you raise an issue on our support repo? I'll share a link in the chat. And there is an issue that says when you go to new, which is review my open source link. I'll share that link for you. And you can also get an invite to our GitHub organization if you haven't already. Let me share that in the chat for you. Here you go. And I can review that on the video or a live stream. It's not open source though. If it's not open source, I'm sorry. It is open source world here. Why isn't it open source? I'm quite curious. Why wouldn't you open source your documentation? I mean, I just can't see any reason not to open source it. Let me know in the chat why it's not open source. It hasn't been answered, and another great question. Wow, you got some really good questions today. This is brilliant. So yeah, that's terrible. I made the assumption that everyone knows what Swagger is, which is the craziest thing because there's so much tech out there. There's so much I don't know about, and so not everyone's going to know what this is. So that's really good. Thank you very much. This is really important. That's adding value. It's a question, but it's still adding value because I bet you there are so many other people that are not sure what that is. And I can explain what it is, but it's probably better if I actually show. Swagger docs. So what Swagger is, as you document your API, this is probably not a good example. Where's an example? I want to show an example. Swagger example. Pet store Swagger, here we go. So it allows you to document your API and then people can then test it through the kind of the Swagger UI, and there's just so many things that you can do with it. I think you can even generate some code from the Swagger docs and people can test things out and all the rest. So it's become an industry standard. It's quite interesting. Not all projects use it, but it's pretty cool. Hopefully that answers your question. So I think there's different ways you can do Swagger. You can do it where I haven't used it in a while, to be honest, but you can either have like a config file and you list all the what's the word? List all the config that you want Swagger to pick up on, or you can do it with annotations. So in the code, you put doc blocks, and then Swagger will go through, read that, and generate the documentation from that. If it's in with the code, it does make the code look a bit more verbose. But the advantage is it's more likely to be kept up to date, whereas when it's in a separate file, people forget to update it and all the rest. So it's good to have it all in one place. I'm a new member. Puba, I hope I pronounced your name right. Welcome, new member. Awesome to have you here. As I'm not at home, my signal isn't great. I'm going to catch up later on. Martin, thanks for joining. Even if you're not at home, I really appreciate that. That's awesome. Loving that. And if you look, I told you our community is really welcoming. You can see, oh, press that too many times. Mikey's was one of the first members, and everyone's so welcoming. It's awesome. I love that. I really like a GitHub t-shirt. I'm actually not wearing it today. I've got so many GitHub t-shirts. I will wear one next time. Yeah, I have the 8-bit one, the Iron Man one, the football rugby one, so many. Yeah, the first time I don't wear a GitHub t-shirt. Wow. You assumed Eddie Bot is always angry. You see how upset it gets in Discord. It's basically a college project, so until it's not checked by a professor, we cannot have any issues or PRs. Can you not ask them to? Do you want some issues and PRs? I suppose. I mean, you could just not accept any issues for PRs. You could put the repo in read-only mode, therefore people can see it, but they can't contribute to it. It's archived, so if you go to settings in your repo and you scroll down to the danger zone, danger, there is archive this repository. You could archive it and it just makes it read-only. Don't even think you could push to it, but you could then make it not read-only, push to it, and then make it read-only again, so people then can't create issues, pull requests, and so forth. Just my thoughts, but I like everything open source. That's why. I found something from GitHub to solve the issue, linking on. Yes, awesome. You found something. Great. VV, thank you so much. I'm saying VV. Hopefully that's correct. VVV. You've got 3 of them. Yeah, hopefully I'm pronouncing it correctly. Awesome. Yeah, link it to the issue and let's try it out. Let's see. We won't know if it works until we try it out, so we can go have some fun and create some green squares and check if that works. Wait, you're calling it rugby or football shirt? Yeah, one of them is kind of like a football shirt. It's got like GitHub written on the side. I think it's got a number on. Shall I just show you? Well, hold on one second. I had this one to hand. Yeah, so I think. Oh, it doesn't have a number on the back, but I think that one's kind of like a. It's got the things on the shoulder and kind of. I don't know. I don't think that looks like a football rugby shirt, but I'm not really into football or rugby, so I have no clue. Don't listen to anything I say. You have archived it. Okay, awesome. That's cool. Awesome. I think did I catch up with the chat? That's pretty good. I think. Did I catch up what you're saying? Yeah, I think I caught up with the chat. That's pretty good. How are we doing on time? 2:10 here in the UK. And I know everyone's from around the world. That's awesome. So everyone, what are you going to do after this live stream? You're going to go contribute to open source. Obviously, you're giving this video a thumbs up already and you subscribed. But hopefully you're going to go contribute to open source. And remember, it's not about just code. It's about adding value to a project. That's really, really important. Remember, if you raise an issue, I said remember quite a few times, but if you raise an issue or put a comment, add value to it, and you really can. Like you've seen the questions we've had in the live stream today have added so much value, and I really appreciate it. But the other thing you can do, if we've had a discussion on Discord or here now, when you raise an issue, take a screenshot of the discussion on Discord or the YouTube live chat that you're chatting in now to give a reference. So if I come back to it like tomorrow or someone else looks at it, if you write in an issue following our discussion, and then you just say, I've done it, people don't understand. And as I mentioned before, I don't know if you were all here for it, but I had 500 notifications in the last few days from GitHub alone. So when I come to yours, if you just say following our discussion, it makes it really hard. I'm probably going to skip over it and come back to it later when I get time. So you're going to wait a lot longer. Whereas if you said following our discussion and had a screenshot of what the discussion was, then that's just, I can have a quick glance and go, right, I know what we were talking about. That makes so much sense. And that's actually really important with your career as well. It doesn't just help me and help other open source maintainers and other people in the community get context. It helps with your career. One of the interview tests that I like to do is I like people to raise a pull request. Again, the code isn't important. I want to see what they're going to put in the pull request description. That's the important part. I like them to review a pull request, and the pull request they review will have some bad example code in it and some good code in it. I want to see, how they give the constructive criticism. Is it like in a positive way? And that's really important. But also, I want to see how people document an issue. I like to chat to someone in an interview. I say, okay, thank you very much. I think we've got a plan of action now. Could you raise it as an issue? And I want to see what they put in the issue. Do they just put a title saying, I don't know, build an API? Or have they put something really specific and some of their thoughts? And they might even say, some of my ideas, we need these endpoints, we need this and this and this. And again, it's just such a good conversational piece for when someone picks up the issue. They can see what's been confirmed, what's still a question. They can reference other people. And if you quote someone, then you could tag them, or you could say, this was, in quotes by person ABC. Therefore, if they have any questions on it, they know who to go and ask. And so that's really, really important. Definitely practice. It is a hard skill to do, and even after all these years, I'm still making improvements myself all the time. Let's have a look. Please, Woe, can I get one of your t-shirts? I think I've got another box from GitHub that's got like 5 or 6 t-shirts in there. But I don't know, everyone's a different size. I don't have all the sizes, I just have some more examples. But I've definitely got lots of stickers. I will be giving out stickers in the new year. I want to see how best we can judge that. Maybe the best questions, or I don't know, we'll think of something. I got a drone a few days ago, got the DJI Mini 2, and I want to put a GitHub sticker on the top. I'll take a picture and I'll share it on socials. Actually went out yesterday for my 3rd flight, didn't crash, which is good, and I got some video footage from there, so I'll do that. I might over the holiday season maybe do some vlogs on the drone, and I can put a mic to me and I can, I don't know, talk about open source while trying not to crash the drone. Yeah, that could be quite interesting. What else have we got? Oh, question, great question. From David, have you read any books recently that you recommend? The Phoenix Project looks really good. Learn about DevOps. Uh, yeah, it's a really good question. I don't read so many books anymore. I do more audiobooks. So the Phoenix Project I listened to as an audiobook quite a long time ago. Oh, I've forgotten a lot of it, but it was quite interesting. No, I haven't. Spending more time watching YouTube videos of people coding, or live streams and videos. I don't really watch Netflix so much anymore. I spend less and less time on Netflix and more time on YouTube. And yeah, I haven't actually. What about yourself? Have you got anything else that you can suggest? Hey, D-Raj is in the house. Another one of the original people, as well as David, and we've got a few people who are originally here right from the beginning. So it's awesome to have you here. And D-Raj has started a YouTube channel, if I remember correctly, as well. So go check that out. Some of the open source repos are scary to look at. How should I approach these repositories? Manthan, hopefully I pronounced that right. Apologies if I haven't. Yeah, the bigger projects are hard, and even when you get to grips with them, you might make a pull request, and your 10 other pull requests get merged, and so your pull request has lots of conflicts. They are quite hard, and I think to try and get started on one of those, I wouldn't start with a big project. I would find the project that may be a bit slower paced, but eventually once you get there, and you will get there, but the more and more times you do this, then the best way to get started with one of those big projects is maybe pick up a section that isn't changing so much, because a lot of these big projects are broken into modules. I would pick a module that isn't getting changed so often, and you can easily go through and see the history, and see which files aren't being changed too often. Because again, you don't want to create more work, more confusion for yourself as you get into the conversation, and reviewing other PRs, or just looking at it and just putting a comment and a suggestion or whatever it is, will help you and help other people know who you are, and they're more likely to help you as well. So it's kind of like a two-way street again. All these things are a two-way street. Getting started in the conversation is the best place. And by that, I mean, if someone raises an issue, do you think it's a good idea? Do you think it's a bad idea? Are there any examples or links that you think are useful that help that issue, that make it clearer and better? Same with the pull request. Get involved in the conversation. If you have a Discord, join it, and just chat to people and see. It gets easier, but it is hard to get started. Hey, Shelley's Clan. Awesome to have you here. Iraj, glad you've free from all your uni submissions. That's awesome. Eddie, I just want to review my GitHub profile to help me improve it. By the way, this community is welcoming and lovely. Thank you so much, Mohit. I really, really appreciate it. Thank you very much for the awesome feedback. Our community is epic. Really good. If you want to tweet that on socials, tag me and I will retweet it to get you some more exposure as well. Yes, can you raise an issue on our support repo where it's, and you go to new, or let me remove the question for a second, new on the top right, and then review my open source link. Create an issue, I'll do a video or live stream on it, therefore I can review it, give you some feedback and tips, but also get you some more exposure for your open source project. And even if it is just your GitHub profile, that's still an open source project. That still makes you a maintainer. So in fact, everybody nowadays who's customized their profiles, if you look at mine, where's mine? I think I lost mine. Go back to mine. Everyone effectively, I highly recommend customizing your GitHub page, but you're all maintainers. You don't have to customize it in one go. Like it's taken, if I go to my repo and see, it's taken, look, 959 commits. Okay, there's a lot of GitHub actions in there, so that's not really that true. But my point is that just by customizing it, just with a few bits of information, maybe your social links or just some badges like this, then you're already adding improvement to your profile, making your profile stand out from everybody else. So you can, it does help you. It's first impressions. The green squares are the first impressions, which is important to have, like some good green squares. And then if you want people to dig deeper into your projects and what you're working on, other things, then you need to have a good first impression. Customize GitHub personal repo and some green squares, and then people will dig deeper into your projects and see what you're up to. Hopefully that helps. Let's have a look. Right, I'm gonna have to go soon, but I just love geeking out with you all. It's awesome. We should definitely do this more often. What do you think? More often? Mikey, what does Mikey say? Can I buy GitHub stickers or can you only get them as swag gifts? No, you can buy GitHub stickers from the GitHub shop, but Mikey, don't do it. I want to send you some. Send me a DM and I'll send you some this coming week. Yes, I've got quite a few that I want to do giveaways in January, but I won't let you wait until January. I'll give you some sooner. So yeah, send me a DM and it will remind me to sort that out this week for you. I really appreciate all the help you do. Our community is awesome. I'd love to give everyone stickers, and I'm going to count the ones I've got and see how many I can give out. I'd love to give the people who really help other people in the community, which is the majority of you, because you're all awesome. You all help. I just see some awesome things, and actually Mikey is a really good example of this, where someone has a question and says, hey, I'm stuck on this technology or this problem, and I think, correct me if I'm wrong, Mikey, but I remember quite a few times you said, I'm not an expert in that, but maybe we can talk through it and I can help you. And 99.9% of the times, they've solved the problem together. And I just love that. You don't have to be an expert in something to help someone. Just being there, talking through the problem. A lot of the time, the other person, as they talk through it, go, oh yeah, now I figured it out, and so on. So it's really important. Also known as rubber ducking if you speak, not to other person, but if you speak to like, get my plushie. So when I get stuck, I speak to, I think this plushie is called Mona. I think that's what they call it on GitHub. And I usually say, well, I'm stuck on this problem. What do you think? And, Mona types with the 8 legs and solves the problem for me. No. But by me talking through it, I usually come up with a solution. Oh, sorry, Mona. Throw you on the floor. So being there for someone else is just so important. By the time they've explained it on Discord, explained the problem, they've probably figured it out themselves. So I just really love that. I really, really love how supportive our community is. And yes, so we'll see how, Mikey, definitely getting you stickers, but hopefully we can get some more stickers to other people as well. Imitation game is really good. Yeah, absolutely. Good habits. By the way, I don't really like these laptop stickers, but would love to earn one anyway. You would definitely get one for the best questions in this live stream today. The questions have been awesome and love it. Yeah, absolutely love it. Really, really good questions. And so much value to everybody and to me as well. So I really appreciate it. Actually, you know what? I haven't done any competitions yet. We're going to think about this in January, but you've asked so many amazing questions today. Send me a DM on Discord and I'll send you some stickers as well. Let me see. Right, I need to start winding this down. Let me see what questions we've got left, and I need to wind this down for today. I just love geeking out with you. I could be here for hours. We should do like a 3-hour long live stream where we all just geek out. Can I put GoPro on my head, and then I can I'll put the webcam on my head or GoPro, and I can kind of as I look from screen to screen, you kind of see what I'm doing as well. I've got different points of view because I do have the behind the not that one works, but yeah, the idea is the behind the scenes camera on that side. Well, I could do it so you kind of have the corner with what I'm seeing. I don't know, just an idea. Let me know what you think. Yeah, Mikey's reinstalling everything on the laptop. I do that this holiday season as well. I do my iMac Pro that's here. I need to do my laptop as well. The new latest Mac software, and I want to set up my whole computer with dot files. Has anyone set up their computer with dot files? It's just from what I've done so far, it's amazing. So if you create a repo called .files, then Codespaces will also use this. But you can set up things like, so we have the default one. So the default one for me, when you run this command, this is actually going to run everything. It's going to install all the core stuff. It's going to install Brew, NPM, and VS Code plugins and themes and so on. But if I go to the core one, by default, it'll install this. So what it will install, it will set up all my config. So my git config, my global ignores. It's going to set up ZSH. I'm out of practice from live streaming. It's going to set up ZSH. So therefore, my new computer or Codespaces is all set up the way I want. Some of these then I'll run the NPM one, and then I'll run the VS Code one. And then they've got managers. What's managers? Let me see. Oh yeah, these are like NVM for different versions of Node, different versions of Python, and Ruby as well. But I won't use Brew on Codespaces because Brew's for Mac only. So my Mac computers, I'll run that, and then Brew will install these different things. So then I go to my Brew. I will do a video on this going in more detail. But if I go to my Brew file, it's going to install Docker, Git, the GitHub CLI, grep, these sorts of things, and just install them all for me. So as I add anything to this, all my computers get them, which is just epic. I love it how Codespaces loads that. Really, really cool. Although I have broken Codespaces loading that at the moment. It's something I need to fix. Let's have a look. A for answer. Michael, that's awesome. You're right, Eddie. As BT likes to remind us, it's good to talk. Yeah, it is awesome to talk through things. Really, really good. It helps everybody. I think it's cool. It's called an Octocat. I think on their GitHub they call it Mona. I don't know why I think that. But yeah, Octocat is, I don't know. I'm not sure. I just remember reading that somewhere. Raul, I want to contribute to open source machine learning and deep learning projects. I only know Python. Please don't tell me I can contribute with Python and ML. So Raul, if I'm pronouncing that right, we do in our Discord have a Python channel, and there's people probably who can answer that much better than me, talking about Python, ML, and AI. Yeah, again, get involved in the conversation. Most projects, most ways to get involved in them is just get involved in the conversation and add value to that project. You review someone's pull request that they've made and maybe make some suggestions, or go through the documentation and say this doesn't quite make sense. I think there's a step missing, or whatever it is, or add more screenshots, etc., and so on. It's about adding value, and then when you add value, people will help you to add more value to their project. So it becomes this kind of snowball effect. Really useful. I raised an issue for my project to review my profile. Cool. I'll get around to it hopefully soon. There are quite a few projects to review at the moment, but I will get around to it. I review it on a live stream, or I might do videos. I think the videos are more kind of 10 minutes kind of cut down, rather than a live stream that's quite long for reviewing. We'll see. We'll see what you think. Let me know. That will make everyone nauseous though. Yeah, it might do. You're right. If I kind of shaking my head, maybe it's in the corner. I don't know if it's okay. We will see. Love that. Thank you very much, Mikey. I'm a bit slow on the chat. Mikey beat me to it. Cheese, please check my issue. I've probably got loads of GitHub notifications. I will get round to your issue very soon. I do go through every notification I get on GitHub, so I won't miss it. I might occasionally miss one or two, but I do my best not to miss any. But it will take me a bit of time to go through. I went through over 500 notifications this weekend alone. I will get round to it. If in like 3-4 days I haven't got round to it, then do tag me in the issue or pull request. Send me the extra nudge. Okay, last question is from James. Right, last question, and then we will call it a day. I wanted to kind of put it on our community in the background while we do this. There we go. I don't know, but I think Eddie said someone would be doing a live stream about it soon. Oh yes, Praveen will do a live stream on Advent. I can't remember what it's called. I need to get a drink. Yes. Praveen will do it. Go check out Praveen's channel. He does lots of awesome live streams. It's very cool. Everyone, I want to wish you an amazing day. I do have to go get a drink. and we'll do more live streams soon. It's been amazing geeking out with you. I hope you've enjoyed it too. If you have enjoyed it, give the video a thumbs up, subscribe to the channel below. And as I mentioned, if you want to get a shout out from me on Twitter, then give me a shout out, take a screenshot, share something on Twitter that you've learned, whatever it is, just make it positive, like add value to the Twitter sphere and tag me and I will retweet it. And that way we can both help each other and both add value to the community. I will catch you on the next live stream very soon. Enjoy the rest of your Sunday wherever you are in the world. I know we have people from all around the world, which is epic. And I'll see you in Discord between videos and live stream, and I will see you on GitHub as well. Don't forget, a green square a day keeps Eddie away. Otherwise, I'm going to chase you to do more open source. Catch you all soon. Thanks, everyone. Love the questions. Love the community chat today. Really awesome, just awesome chill out, chat, geek out session with you all today. It was awesome. I know people have requested some coding ones. We will do some coding ones in January. I have lots of stuff we want to do coding wise, API, GitHub Actions, documentation, so many. And then you're going to all help me on those live streams to create issues and pull requests as well. So it's not just me that's going to be coding, we're all going to be coding. Everyone, I'll see you in Discord. Links in the description below.